The episode opens with opening statements at Baby Bop's trial. But the prosecution brings up Lauren's secret tape. Method Man is very upset. This was not in discovery. Well, we had to keep her name out of it because we know how witnesses against St. Patrick's disappear. But they gotta go on and give him the tape so he can hear it too. Because they have the right to cross-examine. They gonna tell him, don't play it for Tariq. You should have said also don't give him any information that's on the tape. But you know, this judge seems stupid because he can follow the letter of the law and not the spirit. Like, I cannot play you that tape but tell you everything that was on it. I ain't gonna put up this episode, but I'm gonna tell you everything that was on it. Meanwhile, across town, we have Effie and Braden trying to get some product. And Braden's being all friendly. Effie's like, this stuff is stepped on. She tell Braden's scuzzy little friend his stuff ain't good enough. I wouldn't let him sell me anything ingestible. He looks unwashed, like a Californian, because all of them don't wash out here. It's that hippie stuff. I'm like, I'm a shower like a New Yorker twice a day. I don't care if dermatologists say you should only shower 3 to 4 times a week. I ain't gonna be stinking no days a week. Baby Bop's meeting with Alvin from the Cosby Show, and he's telling him, Gaz is about to get adopted since she's back in the system. This is what your daddy wanted to, keep your sister away from you, because he knew you weren't fecal matter. Another F.U. from beyond the grave. Method Man comes up to Baby Bop and says, look, this tape ain't good, but I'm gonna need my check to make it better. So pay me or go with a public defender. At Casa Tejada, Monet is asking Diana where Drew and her daddy are, and she's like, they don't tell me anything, I don't know. Monet tell Diana to get her some information on her papa's business so she can trust her again. Monet, you don't like Diana. You ain't never gonna trust her. I don't know if it's jealousy. I don't know what it is, but it's sad to me. However, Dante calls Monet, and Monet says it's Zeke's agent and she gotta take it. So she go in the other room, and of course Diana go eavesdrop and hear her say, Dante, you gotta stop calling me. With Dante, we see Kane seeing him on the phone with Monet. However, he's looking at a large sapphire and diamond ring. It's nice. I'd wear it. I mean, a little too feminine for me. I wouldn't mind my ring being a little more masculine, a little more kingly. With the prosecution, they're telling Lauren that she has to get on the stand, and now her parents done found out about the drugs anyway, so we see how useless Professor Carrie Hilson is. Couldn't protect her from shit. Then again, she can't protect herself from her own poor choices. However, back at Casa Tejada, Diana is snooping around Monet's room trying to find out more about this Dante, and comes across a Bible with Ezekiel Cross's picture in it from Wilmington Regional Hospital. So she calls to get the birth certificate from the hospital and finds out it's not in that year. Back with Baby Bop and his henchmen, they talking about the fact that they're productless. Wait, Braden said he's doing poppers? Sounds sissy to me. Oh my God. I've never heard of a straight person doing poppers. I've never heard of a straight person knowing what poppers were. And why would you need them? That's for anal sex, darling. Sounds like Braden's pussy is busy. A fleet tea. Back with Monet and Kane, they mad they ain't got product either. So as they're trying to figure out how to get out of this, Tariq calls. And they don't want to deal with them, but they need them. So they go to a meeting in the back of some coffee shop to find out what the plan is from Tariq. I don't know if I would bet on Baby Bop. And Baby Bop says, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna rob the Connect, Ocean's 11 style. Monet says, shoot, we ain't got nothing better to do. They gonna put the heist on GTG and Guapo. Kane said, you know what, we gonna have to steal some coin too, and for that, we'll need Sissy Drew. And so he's like, I don't really want to be involved, but you know what? If I can pop guap, then I'm a hip hop and you don't stop. So then we got to distract Diana and Lorenzo. And so they said, Tariq and Monet, that's your job. And the plan has come together. So Tariq asked Diana to come to court with him tomorrow, and sure as Drew said, she's like, I'll be there. What time? Should I bring coffee on a muffin basket? Would you like an egg sandwich? See, now we back with Method Man, and he told Tariq, I got the tape, and it's right here. If I hit that space bar, honey, I'd lose my career, my firm, everything. If I hit the space bar. Now I'm going to leave the room and check on a dinner reservation. Yeah. Tariq's like, wait, you can't help. And Method Man looks at him like, what's not clicking? So he hears the tape and he storms out of the office. Sorry, Sax runs after him. Sax is like, you ain't gonna kill the heifer, is you? She got caught with drugs, so she didn't have a choice but to wear a wire. No, she could have taken responsibility. Wait, they weren't her own actions, though. Then she should have called for an investigation. You a heifer with means. And Professor Carrie Hilson was, the one who talked her into wearing a wire, but she was just looking for her man's killer, and that wasn't even her man. She should have been moved on. Why do we have to keep seeing Sax mid-coitus? We don't want to see Sax, period, but especially engaging in coitus, not coitus. It ain't even sex with Sax, it's coitus. Coitus. So she started asking him, did Tariq hear that tape? Because I want to know how you knew that Lauren was his girlfriend. And he won't tell her a firm no, so she's like, nah, I gotta call security to protect Heifer Baldwin. He said, I don't believe she in any danger. She's like, what? No, he's a murderer. You about to lose your job, get this dance. So she throw him out and start making calls. Girl, you better not mess with him no more. You gonna end up like the boy chest heifer, dead and fired. So the prosecutor calls Professor Carrie Hilson and says, where Lauren? Cause Tariq heard that tape and she said, oh my God, she's not in class. So Professor get to Lauren's boudoir, but Tariq already there. Oh, I guess we're both checking on Lauren's absence. Tariq said, heifer, you knew that Lauren wearing a wire would mean she would have to go on the stand. You knew you were putting her in danger. I'm not the disease. You are. He said, well, you should take the stand. And she said, if I take the stand, then I'll say you did have a motive to kill Jabari. And he said, well, you see, there you go. You don't care about Lauren. Over at Monet's, Diana tells her she's going to Zeke's game, and Monet takes an opportunity to snoop herself and finds condoms for coitus. She's like, I knew that little heifer was tussling with Tariq. So Professor Carrie Hilson is down at the courthouse begging the prosecutor not to put Lauren on the stand because they can't keep her safe from Baby Bob, that vicious little dinosaur. So Professor Carrie Hilson said, well, I know about the book too, so I can take the stand. Yeah, I knew. Oh, honey, this is not Young and the Restless. And you do have on a Halle Berry Thriller wig. So Professor Carrie Hilson takes the stand and says, I used to bump uglies with Jabari. However, in cross-examination, we get to the fact that Carrie Hilson wasn't just involved with Jabari, but the lead detective on the case as well as Zeke Cross, a student, a forbidden relationship. Now, you're not willing to, tell on Tariq, but you'll keep it quiet about Zeke. Does that speak to character, willing to break one rule or another? Or are you just hot in the puss? But girl, Method Man says, well, what about me? We used to bump uglies. You ain't gonna tell nobody? You certainly didn't tell the prosecutor. That's withholding information or a lie of omission, if you will. And wouldn't that be pertinent for the prosecutor to know we had bumped uglies? I don't know if the jury needed to know that. If I was the prosecutor, I'd be like, don't get up here and blindside me with that bullshit. The black woman on the jury in the front, she just sitting like, looking just as bored as a real juror and a real extra. So Diana's in the back in the courtroom and she finds out that Professor Carrie Hilson has been humping on her cousin. Well, cousin brother. Or brother cousin? Or just family lie. Better than marrying a step-grand husband. So how many lies have you told, Professor Carrie Hilson, to cover up all of your affairs? This does speak to character, Your Honor. A history of sexual lies. I mean, if you gonna be a hoe, own it. But usually being a hoe don't involve being dragged into a court of law. That's why you messy. This is also why I don't play in court. All your business in the street. All your business. My business really isn't that interesting. He said, well, Heifer, I'm done with your questioning, but you best get your resume together. And now we cut to Coney Island with Lorenzo and Monet. How's Mary's acting, y'all? How do you feel about it? I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comments. You say what you want down in the comments. Let me hear your thought. Okay, so back at Mecca's, we see him yelling at his second in command to stay out of some closet. What did I tell you about staying out of there? He said, oh, I was just looking for the strap you like, and goes to the other closet. But before he can get it, the power goes out. And we can see those two are on the outs. However, he gets a call from Chris. Boss, they're hitting the stash. I guess the heist has started. Everybody in the hangar gets bodied, and the stash is stolen. Kane tell Mecca, you know, this power outage feels familiar, like the one I gave to GTG. So they go downstairs, and Kane leaves the door unlocked behind them, just like what Tariq did to Proctor when he let Tommy in. So we're in the middle of the heist. Oh yeah, get robbed. It is the middle of the heist. So now we got the Hardy Boy, Effie, the GTG, and Drew getting ready to break into Mecca's man's. Effie slips inside and handles another security guard with a firm, no! And Lord, the GTG and Drew are heading upstairs, and the GTG just talking, wow, y'all really out here, y'all pulling off heists. And you high on the heist. A fool. Lord, the GTG guy gives Drew a pair of diamond grills and some money and says, you know, I really got your back up there. I admire you. Just a fool. Well, at least you got the gift out of them before you shot him. You can pawn those chompers. But they did look cheap. It might be fool's gold from a fool. Drew said, thanks for the grills and the money, but it was mine anyway. Child, but GTG knocked the gun out his hand and said, Drew said, okay, I'm gonna whoop your old school. I'm gonna choke you out. He gonna say you ain't got it in you. Honey, he's had Everett in him. So he got it in him. So Drew gets into Mecca's bedroom and gets the money and the sapphire ring. While the chef is in the closet trying to get the guns, Drew gets ready to sneak out. Kane, however, pulls up to the building and he gets upstairs just in time to distract the chef. He gets out of the building and tells the Hardy Boy, drive, drive. Oh, so they give Tariq the diamond ring and he gives it to Davis for his payment. But back at Casa Tejada, we're having dinner, but sides are the shockers. The bombs drop at Casa Tejada, where Diana tells everybody Monet's the mom. Yes, this is the dinner where secrets are the side dishes. So everybody quizzing each other on, where were you today? Well, we went to Coney Island. Did you actually go? Yeah, we went. You should have came with us. Well, I went to Zeke's game. They asked Diana who she went to Zeke's game with, and Kane gonna say probably Tariq, but he going to jail, so you gotta find another skinny boy to cupcake with. But she said, well, Professor Carrie Hilson lied on him, so he ain't going to jail. And everybody's like, how do you know all about this case? You're telling on yourself. And she said, okay, I know a lot of things. Since we want to ask, let's talk. Kane, you sugared our Coke a couple weeks ago to ruin the supply because you wanted to be the connect. He said, well, shoot, you chose Tariq over me, so I had to mess with you too, boo. He said, see, Dad, I outsmarted Drew. I should work for you. Lord, Kane gonna say, well, Drew didn't kill his boo. Is that true? You didn't kill Everett? And Zeke is like, my teammate? That might make things a little hot. So that might have been a good call. Zeke is like, you know what? I want to go. I don't want any answers. I don't want anything to do with y'all. Oh, well, sorry. Monet gonna say, no, Drew, stay. Diana said, yeah, stay, because you're her plan to get out the life since you're her child. Oh, Diana said, well, what about Dante? Okay, I slept with Tariq, but you sleeping with Dante. Girl, she got like Phaedra. Kane had to stop her. Lorenzo says, who? Zeke's dad. Zeke's dad. You know that's her son. And he's actually 23, so your draft is in jeopardy. Girl, she slammed the birth certificate on the table like a Mina. Ain't nothing fake about that. So Zeke storms out and then Mo gets kicked out. So Mecca goes over to GTG with his crew and massacres everybody. But then he kills Chef second in command because he thought he was the inside man. Meanwhile, Monet heads over to Professor Carrie Hilson's to see if she's humping on her son. But he ain't there. Monet tells Carrie Hilson, well, if he has you to come back to, he'll never come back to me. However, back with Baby Bop and Effie, he tells her, Lauren caught me on the wire. Don't tell the Hardy Boy. She said Nessa Huxtable's a rat because she likes to be with the wretched and have big fun. Big fun. You know, they had donuts. And there they were sitting in the coffee shop eating crumbs and the car gets stolen. Now, anyone with half a gnat's brain would say, you know what? I'm going home now, but not you. You get on a bus and go all the way to Baltimore to be with the wretched and have big fun. Now tell me, Nessa, did you have big fun? Thinking you're lying on the floor of a burning building dying of asphyxia and you're down in Baltimore. I can't tell you where we've been tonight from the levels of frenzy, panic, distress, and now that we know you're okay, rage. Oh, God. Oh, such a good monologue. Effie said, well, hon, you had the wrong one. Oh, Lord, now we've got a dinosaur sex scene. Let's get to the next episode. But Zeke going to see Professor Carrie Hilson and she done hung herself.